In the name of God. Hello guys, welcome back to BigQuadr.com. We are here to start again the Python for beginners with sololearn.com. We watched the last lesson about the lists, and now in this lesson and in this season we want to talk about list operations. Let's go to continue. Okay, list operations. The item at a certain index in a list can be reassigned. We saw that in the list we have some items and that had some values that you assigned before. Now we can reassign the items in the certain index in our list. For example, I can reassign this item in index 1 in this list, and I can reassign it to 42, like this example. So there is an example and say there is a list and its names is nums, and this list has a 3 item and we want to reassign this item or the index 1. The index 1 is this item and I want to uh, got the value of 42 is the number. I want to assign it in here, and in the result I have a new list that it contain 3 number such as 5, 42 and 2. Let's continue. What is output of this code? There is a list and it has some values. We want to reassign this value, value 3, with another value. For example, the value 3 is here. Now I want to reassign it by value 1. It means I have 2, 1 in our list. So in the result, if I want to print the index 3, I don't have 4, but I have 1. Sorry, I have 2 in there. Why? Because before I reassigned it by index 1. There's index 1 and there's index 3. So I reassigned it by index 1 and I push the number 2 in this index. And I have number 2 in the result. List operations and the list of cool things we can do with the list just keeps growing. Lists can also be added the same way strings can be. So we can add a list together. However, we can add strings together. So there is a list in here, and we print in the output the list, this list plus this list. It means I have I have a list in the result that contains 6 items. Why? Because there is a list that had 3 items and there's a list that had 3 items. And when I add their 2 lists, I have the 6 item in the result. Continue. What is the output of this code? There is a list and I had 2 items, and I want to add this list for this. So I write here x plus equals 6 and 8, and I want to add this list to this. And I write a print in here, and I say that the index 2 of this list, that is 6, this side divides by index 0. That means this one. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I have 3 in the result of this code. Okay. However, we see that we can actually add the list together, so we can multiple the list also in here. So we can write this list that is nums multiple by 3. It means repeat the list 3 times. Okay, so we have this list in 3 times in the result. So it said, what is the result of this code? Now we have a list that is 2 and 4 in the x, and we say x multiple by 3. It means make the multiple by 3 this list, and we have 3 of this 3 times of this list in here, and we said print the index of 3. It means it is index 0, 1, 2, 3. So we have 4 in the result of this code. Okay, we can check the item in the particular list, and we can use the in operator. It returns true if the item occurs one or more times in the list, and false if it doesn't. For example, there is a list of words in here, and we say if, it means if, okay? The in operator, it means if. So we print it and say, if span in words, print true. If x in words, print true or false. It's not important, but it's going on and check. If the span was in this list, it returns true. So the span is in here and returns true. If the x was in list, it returns true, so it is here. If tomato it was in list, it returns true, but there isn't any tomato in this list, so it returns false in the result. What is the result of this code? There is a list and had some numbers and items. We said that do these operations on the index 0, which means on this one. We said index 1, it means 9 minus by 5, result is 4. 4 reassigned to index 0, so we have 4 in here. So if 4 in nums, so we check if the number 4 were in this list, print the index 3 of this list. So we print the number 7. So our result is 7. We don't want to check another or continue our program. The in operator is also used to determine whether or not a string is a substring of another string. Look at here. There is a there is a parameter variable, and it is a string in here, and we can do that in operator. However, we done it in the lists. We can use it in the strings. So we can say if word in x, it means this string, print yes. So we have a yes in the output. Why? Because we have word in this string in here. So rearrange the code to take the user input, check it if span is present in it, and output yes if it's found, and no if it's not. So we should rearrange this code. We have a variable text, and we got the input, and we say if the span in text, print yes, else print no. Finish. It was very simple. And similarly, to check if an item is not in a list, you can use the not operator in one of the following ways. You can say print not 4 in nums. Okay, we check if the 4 wasn't in this list, we returns true. But if was in this list, returns false. Print for not in nums. If the for not in this list, print true. If it was, print false. So we can use it by these two ways that you can see in here. So we can say not for in nums or for not in nums. There is two ways for writing the not operator to check the item in the list. Fill in the blanks to print yes if the list contains Z. So we have a list in here and we say if Z in letters, print yes. And also we can say print Z in letters. And then we have the true in the result. We don't have the yes. So if we want to write the yes, we should write the program like this. Okay, this lesson is going to be finished, so we have a practice in here. Let's go to do it, and come back and finish our lesson. Given a list of numbers, output bingo if it contains the input number. Okay, we should write a variable in here and get some numbers in input, and then we write another variable and we have some numbers in here. These numbers is about our it's about sololearn. Sololearn give us these numbers, and we should check the input that we got and saved it in the num variable. We check it if num in x, print bingo. So if we give the number in input and we check it if it was in this list, we should print the bingo in the result. So this is the code I write it before. So if we run, we can see that it's true, and there is some test that you can see. Our input is 67, and this number is in this list, so we print bingo. And there is another number that is 124 that is in this list, so we print bingo. Continue. The last question is here. Fill in the blanks to check if the input is present in names list and output the message. Okay, there's a variable where we got an input and we check if name in names. Okay, we have another list that is names, and we should check this input in names. If it was there, print name found. Okay, and finish. This lesson completed. Congratulations. And we are going to finish this lesson, and in the next video we are going to talking about for loops in lists. Thank you guys. Please like this video and comment your opinion for us. We will be very happy to read your opinion. Thank you guys, and goodbye until the next video.